Hey fam, welcome back. Tisha here, back for another recap of Sister Wives season 20. This is episode 6. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button. There's probably going to be a lot that I leave out of this just because some of it I was like, what in the world are they talking about? But in watching this episode, I couldn't help but think about all of the episodes that we've seen this season. And I just think that it is so funny how Kody wants to claim in certain episodes that he is now devalued in the bird's eyes, that these ladies have stole some of his confidence, like he didn't steal theirs or knock theirs down intentionally for years. What happened with Kody and the wives is they knocked you off your high horse, sucker. I don't know why, but I just pictured Cody on a horse and flying the way that the bird did off of that ATV. Hold on. The way I had to just get off camera, and I probably laugh for another 30. Why, whenever I think about that, it makes me weak. Uh-oh, signal acting up. Okay. I think that Cody thought that the ladies would never leave him. And they did. And they are all doing better without him. And it bothers him. So, as I said earlier, do me a favor, hit the like button as we talk about We're Not Brother Husbands. So, I think my signal's a little bit better. We begin this episode seeing the bird unwrapping her crystal. Just one more thing that I personally feel like she bought with the OG3's money. So the bald eagle comes in and he lets the bird know that even though they do not have Coyote Pass listed, that a buyer is interested in it. And after 5 years, Robin is sitting there saying that it is so hard to let this property go. We hear from Cody that, the bird is just so special and she just feels so deeply and she just sits in that feeling. What you're describing sounds unhealthy to me, but okay, Cody. So he lets her know that what he's going to do is he's going to have a meeting with both Mary and Janelle so they could talk about this property. Cue the bird. One thing that I noticed about Robin, and she did it a lot in this episode, is that when Robin lies or when she's trying to act like she's feeling something in a moment, she does this thing where she like squints as she's talking and she's not looking directly at the camera when she does it. And that's what she does when she gives us one of her many performances this episode. I've heard that Mary and Janelle are really concerned about fairness and whether or not, Cody's going to be fair. Cody on a bad day, Cody is thinking unfairly, but on his good days, he's already thinking and being fair. What the hell is she talking about? Because most days that he experiences with those women, or I should say that those women experience with him, are bad days. Cody is not nice to them, which means she's admitting that he's not going to be fair because he's often not in a good mood when it comes to them. So she now claims that after all this time that she's going to make sure that he's fair. Even though for the duration of their marriages, we have seen that this lady has been anything but fair from the moment she joined the family. Now, Bald Eagle says his concern is that these ladies always want more. They always want more and they want more and they want more. And at this point, he's going to give Christine and Janelle 25%, and not Christine, I'm goodness gracious, Mary and Janelle 25% of the Coyote Pass. Oh goodness gracious, girl, get it together. Of the Coyote Pass property. And then after that, he expects them to leave him alone. I really, really wish that they came after him for their money, because he really, really acts like he's doing them a favor when I still do not feel like it's fair. They should have gotten a forensic accountant a long time ago, like we said, but they didn't listen. So back in Utah, we see Christine, as she talks about how she is enjoying her husband, how she loves monogamy, and how they're about to go to date night. So we see them at a restaurant, and she says she just loves how simple life is with him and how they interact with each other. In my opinion, this Christine and David scene was too long, and I found myself going from smiling about the things that they were talking about to being irritated, because it's clear to me that they are having this conversation because of the show. I do not believe that Christine and David sit around on all of their dates and have conversations about Kody. Like, I would think that it's date night and that would be the time to focus on yourselves. But for whatever reason, we're going to keep on talking about Kody. Production. That's why. Christine admits to keeping score in her marriage and being very focused on what Kody was doing. Now, Mary relates to this, whereas Janelle says she was too busy to be worried about that little man. She didn't say the little man part. I'm adding the little man part. We hear how when Christine got mad at David, she called him Kody's name. Apparently, David has also called Christine his wife that um is deceased name. I think her name was Margaret, but they don't take it personally. They laugh about it. It just, I don't think the name thing is that big of a deal. And that could be because all my life my mother often calls me my aunt's name. My mother has a lot of siblings, and her youngest sibling on her mother's side spent a significant amount of time with my mother after she had me, mainly because my father shortly had to go out to sea after I was born, and she stayed with my mom to make sure that my mother was good. And to this day, my mother will call me my auntie's name, and my mother will call my auntie my name, especially if it's a thing where, like, she just got off the phone with one of us, or if she's around my aunt for some time and then she gets, like, over the years, it's always been a thing. And it just made me think of that. It has nothing to do with this, but whatever. So we then hear about how Kody called the wives the wrong name at times. I don't care about that. David then asks about how things are with the other ladies. Very much so something. I think that production gave them a list of things to talk about why they sit here and eat. And this is what we're being told. I hope that production also paid for their meal, because some of this just seems so far left to me, because he already knows that she does not have a relationship with Christine does not have a relationship with Mary and Robin. So of course she's going to say things are great with Janelle and things aren't that great with the other two. So she says that she feels betrayed by Robin, that throughout the marriage, she could never trust her. She says there were times where she trusted her with things that she said in confidence, and then Kody would get mad at her and she would get in trouble for those things. Now, the way that the bald eagle sees it is that Robin was advocating for Christine as well as the other wives. But I see it as Robin was finding a way to cause division. Like, here I am, this perfect wife, telling you about how your other wife has these grievances and these problems with you, and I'm letting you know about it. And who's to know what type of sauce Robin put on it when she told him? Because we know that Robin is a professional liar. It's what she does. She's a professional schemer. So Robin now admits that, she tried, she says, to help Christine and some of the others, but she was naive and she just should have stayed out of it completely. That's one thing I do agree with Bird. You should have stayed out of it completely. We then get what we already heard in the book, which is that Robin and Mary both messed up with her, right? They messed up with her, so she cut the head off. She claims that Mary wanted to be friends with her. And then, like a month or two later, after being mean to her, Mary calls her saying she wants to be friends. And Christina's like, no, I'm not going to be friends with you. You were just mean to me 2 months ago. She says she can act like she doesn't know what she's talking about, but Mary knows. I just feel like this Mary and Christine thing is so old. We get it. You don't like her. You're never going to like her. Some of your reasonings may very much so be warranted, especially some of the things that we've heard that may have transpired. But at this point, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just don't. I don't. I'm I'm not enjoying this show, y'all. I'm not. I want to, but I'm not. I feel like a lot of it is so fake, and it's just like I'd rather just watch Instagram. I really do. um So Christine says that she does hope, even though things aren't good with her and Robin, she does at some point hope that once the kids get older, to have a relationship with them. How old are they going to have to be? Because Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna are old enough where I would think they would be able to interact. Maybe by older, she means like the kids are completely out of the home and from under the control of the feathered crew, because that's the only way I could see there be a possibility of that happening. Between that and them actually watching the show to see some of the things that transpire, so they can see like, hey, this isn't just a thing where they're making this up. Some of what your parents are telling you is made up. So Christine says she does hope to have a relationship with them. I said it won't be happening. That bird has brainwashed them and rewrote history for years. If she managed to trick all of these adults for years, what the hell do you think that she has done to her children? Christine says that she and Janelle were talking about how she even hopes that they could do a reunion one day. And the bird says, there's a lot of toxicity in this family. There's a lot of crap talking, a lot of nasty behavior, a lot of back and forth. Throwing us in a room and seeing what happens is just a bad idea. She later tells David she hopes that one day that Kody and David could be friends. This is Christine. I said, why? I wrote in my notes, why are you guys giving us this fake storyline? We don't buy this ish. David says he can be cordial, but they don't need to be friends. And I agree with David. They don't. They don't have to be friends. Would it be nice for them to be cordial? Would it be nice for them to be able to co parent together? Of course it would. But here's the thing, Kody's not a parent to Truly. What Kody needs to do is work on his relationship with his kids. The relationship with David, in my opinion, is not of priority. It's something that he should have done in the beginning, was kind of like see the type of guy that David is. Now, supposedly, after all this time, the bald eagle feels like he should know David because Truly lives with him. He feels like he should have been given that opportunity beforehand. These people have been married well over a year at this point. I don't know what the timeline is. It could be two. The point is, they've been married for a long time. They've been dating at this point for a long time. They've been together for a long time. Why is this something that you're just now thinking that you should have done? You don't put effort in with your own daughter. So now you want to act concerned about this when you've never worried about that before? Now Christine is pushing for David and Kody to hang out and she's laughing about it. But she can't stand him herself. She doesn't like being in a room with him. So why would it even make sense for Christine to suggest for them to have a boys' day or take a trip together? Now, David doesn't like the way that Kody shows up as a father. He's not really feeling it. But Christine says, just because you're doing something with him doesn't mean you're condoning his actions. It's not like you guys are going to be brother husbands. That's the whole part of the title. I put this has to be for the show. Where is this coming from? This doesn't interest me. I'm very annoyed by this. Like, how much are they paying David to even agree to this? Put your thoughts down below. So we see one of the best parts of this to me because of how awkward Kody was and how uncomfortable those ladies had him feeling. Kody has a video call with Mary and Janelle. Now, Robin is in confessional, squinting again, happy that she doesn't have to be there because it's just, it's so heartbreaking. And it just puts me in a bad place, to have to think about that. Well, how in the hell do you think those women feel having to look at your face after all of the crap that you've pulled, Robin? It's always about Robin and woe's her, woe's the bird because she went through this and she went through that. When she currently seems to be benefiting the most from this situation. So he's trying to make small talk with the ladies. What's going on, guys? And, da-da-da. And Janelle's looking at him like, if you don't hurry up and get to this, he's asking her what's going on. Janelle's not going to give him any crumbs, nothing. So he's trying to make small talk. He's like, Mary, what have you done with the B&B? And Mary says, it's the same. Hey, look at your dog, Mary. Look at your dog. Yeah, Kody, I know. That's my dog. Zona. Zona. Hey, Zona. 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 Mary and Janelle are looking at him like, Kody can't figure out what's going on. He tells us he doesn't know what happened to Mary because he helped Mary with her move to Utah and they were fine. And now she's just like this. Well, Mary's like, well, what happened was I saw the stuff that he said about me. I saw the stuff that he said about my friend. So at this point, I'm drawing boundaries because the show had that tell all before Mary saw all the different things. So her stance is very different now that she's seen the things. Now, neither one of them really want to be friendly with him. So he lets them know there's interest in the property. And long story short, there's a couple that is willing to meet that is asking to, I guess they're agreeing to the asking price for two of the lots. They try to do the whole property, but Kody says that the whole property they bid too low, but they are at least willing to do the asking price for two lots. So he and Robin are going to be on one for now, and Mary and Janelle will be on the other. And they're just going to do that with the other two as well. So it could be an even split. Now, Kody is looking for like a celebration, but these ladies have been screwed over so many times by Kody that they both look apprehensive because they've been told so many things and they don't know if they could trust him. So Janelle says, to us that she'll believe it when she sees it. Kody is still talking about how he's done all the things and he's done all the work and the ladies haven't done anything and they just expect him to do all this work. But you're the one, Kody, who came up with the crummy lot assignments in the first place. You're the one with the legal claim to it. So fix it. You will be doing the work because they can't, which is what both Mary and Janelle basically say. Janelle lets us know that it's not true that she hasn't tried. She doesn't say it, but I'm going to say it's not true. What she says is that she offered to pay someone to clean up Coyote Pass. She offered to have her lawyer draw up the paperwork. She's done what she could, but she does not have the legal ability to do anything further, as Mary doesn't either. So they're going to sign whatever they have to sign in terms of the title so they can get this done. Now that Kody is in his new house, he's ready to sell. The ladies noticed that it took him so long to be willing to do this when they both been asking for a long time. And we know they did. We know Mary at some point did. We know that Janelle was the first one who was trying to get out there on Coyote Pass and build and do all those things. So Janelle points out, like, this thing has taken so long, in fact, that argument that we saw her have with Kody, where she kind of cussed him out and he stormed out of the house, that was over 3 years ago. I think she said almost 4 years ago. So this should have been done. The irony in this thing is Janelle has done more on her property in the little bit of time that she's had it than they did that whole time that they've had it. And they've had it for what, well over 5 years? Because didn't they buy it before the pandemic? Goes to show you. So we see Mary filling in Jen about the conversation about Coyote Pass. Shout out to Tina, girl, if you're listening. Jen doesn't want Kody to cheat her friend. Mary is talking and saying whatever. Mary gets on my nerves sometimes when it comes to her and Jen. Because Mary has all this mouth and all these jokes when she's with Jen, like how Kody couldn't get Coyote Pass sold because he was too busy getting his chainsaw stuck in the tree and all these other things. But when you're in his face, it's crickets. Oh, how I would love for her to have a backbone in front of him. Oh, how I would love for all of them to sit on the couch and talk junk to each other's faces. That's what I really love to see, but we know that's never going to happen. So Jen tells her when she goes to Flagstaff and he goes to shake your hand, why don't you lick his face? And Mary is so weak about this. And then she's like, why don't you give Robin a kiss on each cheek? And Mary says, how about I whisper in her ear, I still want this. I said, Mary, they're not gonna let you go for that one. Because there are people who feel like Mary may, be on both teams, which is fine if she is. But when I heard her said, I was like, oh yeah, people are gonna get you, Mary. They're gonna get you. They laugh and scene. So we see Janelle and Maddie talk, and she fills Maddie in about how her and Mary's names are finally gonna be on the title. Excuse me, they have an offer and it should be sold soon. So Maddie wants to know, okay, mom, that's great, but what about Robin's house? Like, are you going to get back the money that you put into that? And Janelle doesn't feel like there's a way for her to get it back. She says it's labeled as a gift. I'm confused by this because that's not what they said on the show. On the show, when they first bought that house and they said that they were going to be putting money into that house, I thought we were told that it was a family investment, which means to me that she should have gotten back her money. They all should have, for what they put into that house, Mary included, but that's not what happened. Now, the bald eagle claims that he settled this debt back with Janelle back in January. Then he said in February, she told him that, it's settled and what he gave her was more than fair. Put down in the comment section if you believe that, because I don't believe that. I don't. So Janelle's like, look, I just want to be done. I'm basically counting my losses because at this point, my new dream is better than that old one. Back at the house, the bald eagle and his bird are putting up some more cringe artwork. In is it is the engagement picture that he had painted for Robin by one of his classmates of the two of them engaged. Keep in mind, this was before they were married. Keep in mind, he said that you're not supposed to touch and do all these things. But in that picture, Robin looks like she's a little lifted off the air, and it is like Christine said, very, very close. It looks like it's pelvis to pelvis. Now, it could just be the artwork, or it could be what really happened and the artist put it up there. Now, out of all of the rooms that they have, they're putting this in a room that is adjacent to what looks like a living room area. Was it in the dining room? Because she had the little unit with her little dolly sitting next to it. So I'm kind of confused about what's going on here. But we, the people, well, I'm not going to be in that house. We don't want to see that. Their decor is really tacky. Like, I'm looking at, it's so much stuff going on in the house. It would drive me nuts. I personally could never do it. It's not my thing. So Robin, yet again, is talking about how shy she is and how Kody just wants to openly display their love, but she's just so shy, if you say so. So Kody, in my opinion, is so desperate for attention that he then tells his bird that this lady emailed him and chastised him for deciding to quit plural marriage. But then in the same breath, he says that same lady wants to get to know them to join their family. And Robin is looking like, how dare she? The bird is basically bothered by this lady daring to reach out to Kody instead of her because that's not how it's done. And I started laughing because Robin is acting like she didn't start seeing Kody Brown before Christine and Janelle even knew that she existed. So don't go there, bird. Don't. Now he tells us that he is enjoying the attention of this person who emailed him. He tells her he deleted the letter, but he figured that I figured I should tell you because you're my sweetheart. He's like, but I wish I didn't delete it so I could show you because apparently they've had other ones. And Robin says this, which just goes to show you how crazy her thought process is. I'm just going to say it. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. When a young woman sees a married, stable man that he is attractive, he's figured out some of his bull crap. He's got a wife that's happy and he knows how to be a dad. I mean, like, I'm sorry, but that's going to make any girl's eggs drop. Say what? That's going to make her eggs drop? What in the world are you talking about, lady? She then continues, I mean, like any young woman would be like, oh, he is marriageable material because he's already married. You are telling on yourself, girl. Your slip is showing because that's what you thought when you saw him. You saw dollar signs. You heard about this show. You thought it was going to mean something. You thought Kody had all this money, but really it was his wife, Janelle, and some of the others that made it do what it do. The conversation is weird. I don't care about the women who may or may not have reached out to them. It's yet another fake scene. Now, Baldy says that Robin and him falling in love made Christine ridiculous because it always comes back to Christine. He didn't admit that. No, wait, I said, no, he did admit that anytime you have two entities, one is going to outshine the other. Anytime you have two entities, one is going to outshine the other. That guys can deal with that, but Christine couldn't deal with that. He got a hard on for Christine because Christine isn't the only one who struggled with it. Mary did too. Janelle didn't struggle with it until the end. Kody himself wouldn't be able to deal with it, but he's still so butthurt about Christine that he has to bring her up. He says he tried to love those women the same. He even faked it, but in the end, it wasn't going to work. Thank you for being honest about it. But I think at some point he didn't try. I think that he stopped trying a long time ago. We then hear again about why Robin wanted plural marriage. She wanted community. And then we get our final seed from the bird. She says, I wanted us sitting at a table, sitting at a table like we were as a family for our meetings, with you saying, hey, babe, I got you. I'm going to make sure I'm gonna make sure I got you and your needs. Like saying that, in front of all of us, like, I need you all to know individually and collectively that I love each of you and that I have each of your backs. How beautiful would that have been? How beautiful would that have been? He couldn't say that because that's not how he felt. Now, Kody feels like what she's doing in this moment is pointing out his failures. That it would have had been great to have a set, excuse me, to manage it better, but he didn't. So now he wants to work on it. And he's going to own that he wasn't a leader and he is at fault. Once again for show, because we got to see at some point him do his apology tour. He says he wants them to be good. She then they're talking about this whole plural marriage thing again. Y'all already said a couple episodes that you're not going to do it. So why does this keep coming up? She says that she's perfectly fine with him. End scene. I just want to reiterate what Maddie said because I feel like it's important to remember this. Robin is a liar. The end. If her mouth is moving, she is manipulating in such a calculated way that you will not know up from down. Truly, she is a liar to an extent I have yet to see replicated. I'm going to keep reading that because this is what I think a lot of times when I watch Robin. When I see Robin on the screen and she's moving her mouth, I think about how Maddie said if her mouth is moving, more than likely she's lying. She's right. She is a liar. And so are a lot of them. I think that out of all of them, and we don't even get a lot of Janelle so far in what we're seeing, Janelle is being the most honest about the situation. Now, Robin ain't into Kody like that anymore. I think that Kody is really, really trying really, really hard to get Robin to be what she used to be. But Robin no longer has to treat him like he's her best customer because he's her only customer and she's his only wife. But that's all I got. If there's something that you felt like you wanted to talk about that I didn't mention, feel free to put it down in the comment section below. How do we feel about this episode? Do we feel like it's getting any better? Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, peace.